welcome to another episode of When Life Podcast. Life has its ups and downs, and we want to talk about it. In this podcast, we want you to fill in the blank. When life sucks, when life is awesome, and many more. We hope you enjoy this next episode. Hey guys, welcome to When Life Podcast. Today we're going to be doing an introduction of our crew. So let's go ahead and get started. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Areli.
Hi, my name is Pablo.
Hi, my name is Joel.
My name is Caesar.
Hi, my name is Brianna.
And we are doing When Life Podcast, where we're going to talk about a couple of things. Life sometimes can take a lot of different tolls, and we want to talk about it, but we want to dissect it. You want to share a little bit of what that's going to look like?
Yeah, well, this idea kind of come to us like we were like just like a group of friends that we have this question about like sometimes we don't hear like wisdom or like life experience from people from our like the same age or the same kind of people, you know, like to be relevant to this generation. So it's kind of the idea that we want to bring, like share life, share like topics that are relevant right now, and just take wisdom from that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I feel like we just kind of, because our name is When Life and blank, we just really want to fill in like all the blank spaces, you know, and just really share from our experiences as real people. And we all go through same difficulties, and maybe it might not be the same scenario, but we can share a little bit of how we overcame things or how we handled certain situations in life, and we can just all connect with each other through that. And we like just to let everybody know we're not alone in this in life, and we can all just get wisdom and how to maneuver or go through the crazy things in life together.
Yeah. I feel like Joel was saying, it's just one of those things where, you know, we're millennials, and a lot of times you want to hear what other millennials are talking about. And I know you can share a little more of like the mentality of millennials and why we think the way that we do sometimes. But yeah, I think it's good to get an other millennials' perspective on different situations. You know, like when life does suck, like how do we handle it? How do we go about it? When life does go really well, how do you continue to live and not get caught up in that hype of life is awesome right now? I want to talk about it all the time, but you still have a day-to-day life, right? But as millennials, we have different ways that we think and different, I guess, belonging cues. So can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I mean, like we are this generation of people that we are being so misinterpreted in many areas because we are really, really looking for community and connect with other people and know their perspectives. And older generations, they think like we are just an isolated generation that we don't want to engage with the same topics that our parents or grandparents. But the reality is like we are hungry for no because we want to do better, you know. And you see this like millennials, when we like to do something, we go full in, you know. And it's not a matter of commitment; it's a matter like if we really like it, we want to make a difference. We want to be part of it, you know. So it's very important for a generation connect with older generation, but also community is so important for us that we want to know what is happening in other parts of the world or like in a different college perspective. And, you know, like we have this necessity. And it's interesting because in history, we are one of the most also loneliness generations. And that is because we're trying to get connection and we do it through social media. But the reality is also we want like how do you say, like connect personal connections. Yeah. So we want to bring all this and also talk about people that we admire and people from that is relevant today or maybe was relevant years before, and learn from them and why it's still being relevant for us today. So it's kind of like the mindset of millennials, and we want to bring this to the table, you know?
Yeah. And another thing as millennials is like, I think something that we're trying to do, and I know that all our hearts are the same on this, is we are part of this generation, but we understand that there's generational gaps.
Yeah.
Right? And I know that you were just talking about that, and it's just kind of like, I love what our professor said in class where he was talking about how the last generation still has stuff to contribute. And maybe the last generation is preparing the way. And we are coming in and we will be at that moment too, where we need to prepare the way for the next generation.
Yes.
You know, and it's a bit of a different time, you know, and I love what he said too, where he was like, don't discount the last generation just because they don't know how to use a phone, right? It's something so petty and like so irrelevant.
Yeah.
But I mean, technology does play a big part of in our generation.
Mm-hmm.
Brianna, what do you think that technology like kind of has to contribute to our generation as millennials? You know, he was talking about social media. Like, what's been your experience with that?
Well, I mean, there's been ups and downs, if I'm being honest. As millennials, like, we go on our social media and we see, like, things that either impulse us to do better and to do things and that get us out of our comfort zone, or there's certain things that literally just bring us down, you know, because of insecurities, of rejection, of comparison. And that's one thing that social media, like, it can affect us in a good way or in a bad way, you know, like bringing the good in us or bringing the bad in us, and, you know, just affecting us that way. That's what I believe technology, like what it how it impacts us.
Yeah, I think technology plays a huge role.
Because that's what it's like a tool, right? Like you can have a knife and you can use it like even for kill people or like for cook something really nice, you know. So social media and all technology is bringing like it's changing the game, you know, it's changing the dynamic around the world, and we have to find the way to use it for our benefit and not like and trying to avoid those maybe behaviors that are affecting us as a society, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you think, Adele?
I just think, just going back to what Joel said earlier, just kind of like we're a generation who's hungry for connection, and it's just finding really that middle ground of how we can connect to grow, rather than, you know, like using it as a clutch or, you know, just letting it affect us negatively. Just really use it to the best of our ability, which is what we're trying to do here. You know, we're just really trying to connect through like a podcast or through video. You know, what we're doing here is we're trying to reach out to people who are like-minded with us, or even just like, hey, we want to be a voice to people our age, and even those younger than us who are looking at this, and just be like, hey, you're not the only one. Like, we want to bring you and connect you to what we've got, you know, and just
Also, and also it's very like interesting about millennials is like we like to be challenged when you have a different perspective. We are very like, okay, show me why you believe this. Show me facts. So it's kind of all this dynamic in this podcast, you know.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited to get to talk to you guys. We do have a sponsor for this podcast, and we have Starbucks. So today, we're going to be drinking our pumpkin chai latte. So let's take a drink. Let's see what you guys think.
Wow.
It's not bad.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like the
it's
little
really
kick
good.
of the chai, but still the pumpkin, like in season, you know.
It's
pretty good.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm a fan of it.
Definitely.
Yeah, I like it.
It's for the fall.
It's for the
I
fall.
like the
Yeah,
fall.
Fall drink for sure.
Just the season.
Yeah.
Just the season for
Just
me.
the season. Perfect. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you in our next episode.